Hello students, today we are going to discuss the practical number 7 for the subject Informatics Practices class 12. We have already discussed the 6 practicals in this series. If you didn't watch, I will recommend please go and watch these practicals, or if you don't know about the theory of the data frame and all those things, then please go and watch my theory classes. I have created a playlist for practicals as a 12 informatic practices practicals, and for theory classes I have created a playlist called 12 informatic practices. You can find on my channel. Okay, so today we are going to discuss a new practical, that is find the sum of each column. What we need to do, we will be given a data frame and we need to find the sum of the each column and find the column with the lowest mean. The mean I have already explained you in some practical what is mean, and what we need to do, we need to find the column which has the least mean. So this is actually problem we need to solve. Now what we are going to discuss, as usual, we will discuss the problem statement, then we are going to discuss the steps to solve this problem, and then we are going to discuss the Python code to solve this problem. Okay, then we are going to discuss the run code in spider editor, okay, or you may use any editor. If you are using Sublime editor, Ideally editor, or Jupyter, anything it will work, and then demonstrate it. So this will be our flow of this lecture or video. Let's try to jump into the discussion without any further delay. So what is the problem? Problem is given a data frame, you are supposed to find the sum of values of each column wise sum you want to calculate. And one more thing, find the column which has the least, or we can say lowest mean. Okay, so this is the problem statement. So before starting this lecture, you should know what is data frame first, then you are supposed to know what is the sum of values of a column, then you should know how to calculate it in the Python pandas, then you are supposed to find the what is mean and how to find the mean in the data frame. So first of all, I am explaining all those terms, then this practical will be easy for you. So what is data frame? If you didn't know data frame, anything about data frame or series object, then I will recommend you please watch my theory classes or watch the previous practicals, in those practicals I have explained a little bit about those data frame and series objects. Now what is data frame? Data frame is a two-dimensional pandas data structure. Okay, data structure that has some rows, and some columns. So this is the basically data frame. Data frame will look like this. So this is an example of data frame like this. Let's suppose we are taking 4 columns, and we have the column name A, we have B, we have C, we have D. So these are the columns, and we have some rows here. Let's suppose 4 rows. Okay, so we will continue this example only. Let's suppose it has 4 rows, and we have some data like 10, 20, 30, 40, then let's suppose 5, 10, and let's suppose 15, let's suppose 20, then we have, let's suppose 15, 25, 35, and let's suppose 45, then we have 20, 40, 60, 80. Let's suppose these are the columns, these are known as rows, so it has the 4 rows, and how many columns? It has the 4 columns, so these are known as columns. So it has the 4 rows and 4 columns. So this structure is basically known as what? This structure is known as data frame, because it has row and some column. Okay, two-dimensional structure generally it is known as. What is the sum? Sum is basically adding all the values. sum of the values of each column. What we want, our program should return like this. What is the sum of each column age values? 10, 20, 30 and 100. Its sum is 100. So our program should return like this. A is value is 100. Then B value is what? 50. Its sum is 50. So B column sum is 50. So our program works like 15 or 25, 40, 75, 75, 80, 120. This column sum is 120. So it should 120, and this column is 200. Sum is 200. All those values. Column is this. So that's how I have added like this. These are the columns. So this column sum is 100, this column sum is 50, this column sum is 120, this column sum is 200. So D column is 200. So one code we need to write something like this, that will print column wise sum. This is known as column wise sum. Okay. Another thing what he needs is the column wise mean we need to find. Column wise mean we need to find. Mean is what? Middle value. So let's suppose I have already explained what is mean. Let's suppose 10, 20, 30, 40. What is 10, 20, 30, 40? What is the mean of this particular four values? Column wise mean means column has 4 values. So what will be the mean of this value? So mean is basically middle element. But here middle is mean means average actually, not that what I was explaining use of median. This is not what we want. We want the mean. Mean means average of these sum. So 10 plus 20 plus 30 plus 40 divided by 4. So it is 100 divided by 4. So it will be 25. So 25 is the mean of this particular column. So its mean is 25. So A column mean is 25. B column mean is what? 5 plus 10 plus 50 divided by 4. 50 divided by 4, if we calculate, it will be around what? 50 divided by 4. It will be around 12.5. So it will be around 12.5. Okay. And if we add 120, C column mean will be what? 120 divided by 4, that will be around 4 3 30. So its mean is 30. And D column mean is 20, so its mean is 50. 200 divided by 4. So D column mean is 50. So second thing he is asking about this output. And now next thing he is asking, print the column name and column name and value that has lowest mean. So this is the question asked. What is the lowest mean in this case? B is the like column which has the lowest mean. So he asking the output like this, 12.5. So he is asking this much output. So he will give you a data frame like this, and he are supposed to find the column wise sum. Then you are supposed to find the mean, and then you are supposed to find the column name who has the lowest mean in the output. Okay. So this is the actually problem statement. Now what we need to do here, how can we find out the, it is very easy to find the sum, column wise sum in a data frame. You may use the data frame's function called sum, df.sum, basically a function that will directly return you the column wise sum. Okay. And if you want the row wise sum, then you may use this function only, but in case you need to pass the x is equals to 1, in this case it will return the row wise sum. For column wise sum, you need to just call the df.sum. It will print the all the columns and their sum like this we have here. Now you need to calculate the column wise mean. Same function available, df.mean is a function that is basically used to calculate the column wise sum. Okay. So these two things you can do easily because there is a ready-made function available. Now the third problem is a typical problem. In this you are supposed to calculate the lowest mean and then its column name you need to print. Okay. So for that purpose you should know what the df.mean function actually return, then you can sort it out. Let me show you the logic, how this logic can be built. Okay. So let me show you logic here. So I am roughing this much, and now let me show you the logic. If you understand the logic, then it will not be difficult for you to understand this problem actually. Okay, so let me rough all those because we already discussed. Now let me show you how to calculate this lowest minimum, or means lowest mean column. Okay, so you should know that df dot mean actually returns what? Df dot mean actually returns the, it returns the series object of column wise mean. So it will return what? It will return a series object. Series object will look like this. So it will return A index, B index, C index, A, B, C, D. This is the index, and 25 its mean, 12.5 its mean, then 30 is its mean, and then 50 is last mean. So it is a series object. So if we hold this in some series variable, df dot mean, we write this like series equals to df dot mean. In that case, what will happen? This is a series object actually. Series object what has? It has some index and it has some data. So data is actually what? Here data is the mean of the column. Here it is the column name. A, B, C, D is the index, that is string type. If you don't know what is series object, I tell you that series object is a one dimensional pandas data structure. It is a one dimensional pandas data structure that has index and value associated. Okay, like this. So this is a example of, this is also a series object. df dot sum also return a series object in which index is the column name and value is the sum. In case of mean function, it will return A, B, C, D. The index will be the column name and values will be the your mean actually. Now what we can do, if you know the concept, the series object can be sorted. Series object can be sorted using sort underscore values function. You can sort values and you pass the argument ascending equals to true. Means if you sort this data series, and create some variable series 1 and you sort this data series and hold it in series 1, then what it will return? It will return the sorted series object. So sort values function, if you know, then you can easily calculate this. So this much knowledge you should have. So series object, if we sort, then minimum value will ascending true, we are passing that we want to sort in ascending order. So minimum value will come on the top. So 12.5 is the minimum value, its index will be B, will come on the top. Now second minimum is the 25. So 25 will come here and its column name A will come here. Next is 30. So 30 value will come here and next C column will come here. Then 50 is the maximum. So 50 will come here and the D column will come here. So this function will return this output and it is a series 1, let's suppose. Okay. Now you can do, now what you need to do, you already know that if you sort this series in ascending order, the first topmost value will always be what? It will be the minimum value. And if you want to print this minimum value, what you can do, you can access the first element of this series object, and this can be done using this slicing. If you know the slicing, I am starting from the 1 0 and up to 1 I am printing. If I write this line, I will get output like this, B, then 12.5. okay. So this is how you can solve this problem. Okay, so you should know what is data frame, you should know what is the sum, you should know how to calculate the sum using sum function, you should know how to calculate the mean, you should know how to calculate the mean in data frame, df dot mean function. Then you should know what the df dot mean actually return, it return a series object. Then you should know how to get the minimum lowest mean column. Lowest mean column can be get using the sorting the series object in ascending order, and then you can access the first element. As you know, after sorting the ascending order of a series object, the lowest value, because it contains the column name and its mean, so lowest mean column will be on the top, and if you access it using the series slicing, you can very easily access it and print it. Okay, so you should know how to do the slicing. So slicing is basically concept in which you pass like this. You pass the start position, then you pass the stop position, and then you pass the step position. So start is the by default 0, stop is the by default length of the series object, and step is by default 1. Here I have passed 0 as a start position, so 0 as a start position, stop as a 1, so it will go up to 1. Go up to 1 means stop minus 1 up to it will access, so it will access the first index of the series object, and this you will print it. Okay, so this is how you can print the lowest mean column using this much logic. Okay, now we will go ahead and try to write the steps to solve this problem. Okay, I am roughing this. So now we will go ahead and try to write the steps. So I am writing the steps here. Step is very important to understand it. Create a data frame. Now you should know how to create the data frame. Then I am not going to tell you how to create a data frame using 2D dictionary. I already told you in the last two practicals how to create a data frame from a given table. Okay, create a data frame for a given data, like I have showed you in a table. Then second step, calculate the sum of data frame column values using sum function. So you can call this sum function df.sum. It will return the column by sum. Next, calculate the mean of data frame column values using df.mean function. Meanwhile, what you need to do, you need to hold this as a variable, series variable. Mean function returns series object, hence hold it in some variable. Like I have hold it into SCR variable. Now fifth step is sort the series object in ascending order. Remember, ascending order is important. Otherwise, what it will happen, the lowest mean will become the last element of the series object. Now access the you can use the sort underscore values method of the series to sort this, and ascending equals, by default ascending is true, you need not to pass it, but for your convenience I have already shown you. Then access the first element of sorted series using slicing. Okay, you will use the slicing concept to sort this data to access the first element of the series object. Now we will go ahead and write the Python code. Okay, so let me rough this and go ahead and write the Python code for you so that you can get the idea. So here what you need to do, first you need to import pandas. It is necessary, otherwise it will not work. Import pandas as pd you will write. Then what you need to do, you need to create the data frame. Data dictionary I am creating for the example that I have shown you. So data dictionary equals to, how can you create, like this, a, then I am passing 10, 20, 30, 40, column wise you need to pass. You are trying to create this data frame actually. This is important to understand this, because if you don't understand this then it will be difficult for you. So A, B, C, D are columns which have 10, 20, 30, 40, and then 5, 10, 15, and then 20, then 15, 25, 35, 45, we were having 20, 40, 60, and 80 like this. Okay, so A column, how you will create this data frame, I already told you in last practical, but I am here to also telling you. A column you will pick up as a key of the dictionary and its values as a list, then put a comma, then pick the second column and then fetch all the values as a list 5, 10, 15 and 20, then put the third column, then fetch all the values and write it in a dictionary 15, 25, 35 and 45 like this, then fetch the last column D column and put it here. So this is the step. To one question is generally asked in board exam also, like this, given a data frame, write the Python code to create this. So in this example also it will help you. So 80 like this. So this is the dictionary I have created. Now using this dictionary I can create the data frame. So data frame, let's suppose df, I can use the pd.dataframe method and you can very easily create it. Data dictionary you need to pass. This variable name should be same, otherwise you will get the error. Okay, now what you need to do, print the sum. To print the sum, what you will write, print df dot sum. It will print the column wise sum. I have already shown you how to print the column wise sum. It will print like this, a b c d, column wise sum. So its column is 100, let's suppose. This column is let's suppose 50. This column, let's suppose 120. This column, let's suppose 200. So like this. Okay, now to print the mean, what you need to do, print df dot mean. You can directly write, it will print the mean. But for calculating the series object, to calculate the lowest mean column, what you need to do, you need to create a series object here and you will take the whatever the mean function return, it return the series object. You will track it like this. Then what you need to do, you need to apply the sorting. So sorted series, you will create a variable sorted series object, and what you will do, right, ser dot sort underscore values is a function that is basically used to sort the data frame. Oh sorry, data frame can be also sorted using this method only. True you will pass and it will sort this data frame in a ascending order. Like mean will be what, I have already shown you how to calculate mean. Mean means average. So a b c d, it will be a series object. Let's suppose series object, it will be a key, will be the index, will be the column name and value will be the this bit. So it will be having 25 I think, then it will be 12.5, then it will be 30 and then it will be 50. This is the mean. Now sorting, so it will create a new frame, sorted underscore series. So this can be like this. Sorting, if you apply, then it will look like this. So a b, so sorting means ascending order, then b column will come at the top. Okay, so here b column will come at the top because it has the lowest value 12.5, then a column will come and it has the 25, then c and d column will come 30 and 50 like this. This is the sorted series object. Okay, now what you need to do, you need to access the first element of the series. So you can access, let me write this after this line, I am writing this code. So print sorted series, sorted underscore ser variable, then what you need to 0 colon 1. If you pass this, it will print the column which has the lowest mean. Now let me go ahead and type in the Python editor, spider editor, and show you how it will work. Okay, so let me rough this and show you. So I am going into my spider editor and now let me type it. So you can type it very easily. So first import the pandas. So I am writing it pandas hpd, then you will create the data dictionary. So data dictionary I am creating. Variable name you can take anything. I am taking like this, and then you create it a, then you will pass it like 10, 20, 30 and 40, and then b column, let's say 5, 10, 15 and then 30. You can take any value, it is not necessary that you should take these values only. I have solved this example, that's why I am taking these values. Otherwise what you can do, you can take any values as per your choice. It is not necessary to take these values only, because program will work for all those. Okay, so 20, then 30, then 20, then 40, then that's 60, and then 80. Okay, like this. Now you can create this data frame like df I am creating pd dot data frame, and you will pass this dictionary data underscore dictionary, and here it is. Now you will, what you will do, you need to print the sum, column wise sum. So you can add some nice message, column wise sum is, and then you will print, what you will print, df dot sum. It will print the column wise sum, and you print the column wise mean. Then what you need to do, column wise mean is, then you can print df dot mean. And if you want to found the lowest mean column name, then what you need to do, df dot mean, what you need to do, calculate it like this. Then what you can do, here you can sort it first, sorted underscore series. You can take any name. For simplicity I am taking like this, sort underscore values method you can use for sorting it, and you will pass the, if you don't pass ascending equals to true, it will by default true. If you want to sort the descending order, you will pass the false here, but I am using, I need to sort in ascending order so that I can get the lowest mean value on the first position. You can print this series object, we are already printing this series object. Here you can check what is the type of this series object using type function if you want, so that you get the idea what is the type of this series object. So what you can do, you can use this type function. If you know this function in class 11, you might have heard about it. Now we are going to print the first element. So lowest mean column, name and its value is. फिर आप यहाँ पे you will write print sorted underscore, you will use the slicing in which you will pass 0:1, and it will do your. So now we are going to run this, and it will print the desired result. Now let me show you. So to run this, just click on the run button. Here you can see. So let me print the data frame also, so that you can get the idea what is actually. Print the data frame df also. So now let's see. So first we are printing this data frame. This is the data frame. Column wise sum we are printing. A column 100, B column let's say 60 is the sum, and C column 120, D column 200. I think while we are calculating, we have calculated sum as 50, so it might be the calculation mistake. So please, but logic was correct. It was wrong due to some addition problem. So sometime it happens while teaching, we generally ignore some problems. So I actually ignored some problem. So C column we got 120, and D column we got, this is the sum, column wise sum. Now if you want to the column wise mean is, I have already tell you 15 and 25. So how to calculate the mean? Add all those values and divide by number of elements. So how many elements are there? 4. 100 divided by 4, 24. 60 divided by 4, 15. 120 divided by 4, 30. 200 divided by 4, 50. So this is the mean. Now what is the task? To print the column which has the minimum or lowest mean is the practical. So what we need to do, first we have printed that what is the type of the object that returned by the df.mean method. It was series object. We know the series object, so now we can go ahead and sort the series. So if you write this example, so let's print the sorted series also, so that you can get the idea. So sorted series, for your convenience I am already printing it, otherwise not necessary to print it. Sorted series, sorted as per mean in ascending order. You need not to write that much, but for your convenience and easy to understand, I am writing. So this is the sorted. Now you getting the sorted series. So 15 is at the top, 25, then 30, then 15, then 50. Now what you need to do, you need to access this first element. So you can access this first element using the slicing, that we have used this slicing, it will print the first element of the series object. Okay, so this is how you can print the lowest mean of a data frame and lowest mean column of a data frame, and using this series concept also we have learned here. So that's all in this practical, and if you have any doubt, then please go and comment in the video and I will get back to you. And if you like this video, please like, and if you please share it with your classmates so that everyone can get benefit from these lectures. And thank you so much. Have a nice day. See you in the next class.